Nagoya Grampus and Avispa Fukuoka are the two teams who are about to do battle here at the Toyota Stadium. But only one of the teams can secure a coveted spot in the J.LEAGUE YBC Levain CUP final. It's Shigetoshi Hasebe's Avispa side who hold a slender lead, having won Wednesday's first leg of this semi-final by a single goal to nil. History could await for Hachi today, as the Hornets are aiming for a first ever spot in a National Cup final. It would be a momentous occasion for Avispa if they were to go through and delight their travelling away fans. But in their way today stand the home team, Nagoya Grampus. Kenta Hasegawa's side have struggled a bit of late. They've only won 1 in 10 games in all competitions recently, but on home turf, they're definitely still a force to be reckoned with. They've been unbeaten in 13 home matches, a run stretching all the way back to the group stages of this very League Cup competition when they fell here to a 1-0 defeat against Wisla Kobe back in May. That seems an awfully long time ago now. Kaspar Juncker, one of the players to come into the side for today's second leg. 3 changes for Nagoya Grampus between the first leg and the second leg. Kaspar Juncker comes in up top in midfield. Haruki Yoshida coming in as well, and Takuya Uchida, the man on loan from FC Tokyo. Which of those, if any, can be the home hero for Nagoya Grampus today?
1点ビハインドという状態ですが、今日はホーム戦、そして今季最後の豊洲ゲームです。負けられない戦いになりますね。
はい、まずしっかり90分で勝つことを目標というかね、で戦っていきたいというふうに思っています。
名古屋もそして福岡も堅守ということで、第1戦同様1点の重みがかなり大きくなるかと思いますが、勝敗を分けるのはどんなところになりそうでしょうか。
そうですね、その1点とゴールというところがやっぱり勝敗を分けると思うので、まず先に点を取りたいなというふうに思ってますけど。
メンバー表を拝見しますと、ベンチに米本選手の名前がありました。彼の状態とそして期待することを教えてください。
はい、怪我はもうだいぶ癒えてというか、治って、ただコンディション不良も多少あったので、90分は難しい状態ですが、しっかり試合やれる状況には戻ってきているというふうに思いますので、状況を見ながら使っていきたいなというふうに思っています。
There's a look at Kenta Hasegawa's starting lineup for Nagoya Grampus. Langerak in goal, Maruyama, Nakatani and Fuji the back 3. Morishita, Yoshida, Inagaki the captain, and Uchida across the midfield with Izumi and Nagai further forward, and Kaspar Juncker, the Dane, leading the line. Kenta Hasegawa expecting a tough game, of course, as it so often is between these two teams, but they know that lead can be turned around. Shigetoshi Hasebe, the Avispa Fukuoka manager, has changed 5 players from the first leg. It's almost an entirely new look team. Partially injury enforced. Even the scorer though. Tsuruno dropping to the bench, Nakamura dropping to the bench as well. Miya, Mayajima, Mae Kono and Yamagishi all coming in to start, as Shigetoshi Hasebe mixes things up for Avispa Fukuoka in their challenge to reach the J.LEAGUE YBC Levain CUP final.
今日引き分け以上で決勝進出ということですが、先ほどのミーティングでは選手たちにどんなことを強調して伝えたんでしょうか。先ほどミーティングしたのを知られてるんですか。今日の試合は、勝ち抜くためには引き分け以上というレギュレーションですが、このゲームに勝つことを意識してプレーしてもらいます。メンバー表を拝見しますと、第1戦と比べて先発5人入れ替えということで、どういった狙いを持ってのものなんでしょうか。ベストメンバーを組んでます。そして、今季4度目の対戦となる名古屋を相手に今日勝ち切るためのポイントを教えてください。水曜日の対戦の時も話したんですけれども、簡単に失点しないように、相手の攻撃力をできるだけ抑えて、勝つためには得点が必要なので、そういう中でも自分たちが攻撃の形をいくつか出して、ゴールに迫りたいなと思います。
A look at the Avispa Fukuoka lineup from Shigetoshi Hasebe. It's Nagaishi starting in goal once again. The back 3, Mikuni Nada and Miya, Mayajima, Moriyama, Mae and Yuzawa in the midfield. There'll be some width there with Mayajima and Yuzawa maintaining positions on the flanks. Yamagishi, Kono, the man who provided the assist in the first leg, and Wellington leading the line up front. The battle between the two centre forwards, Kaspar Juncker and Wellington, could be a big one today. So often very, very close games between these two sides. Their league positions very, very close as well. Nagoya Grampus slightly ahead, but with the points tallies so close this late on in the season, it suggests that these two teams are pretty evenly matched, and I'm sure we'll see that in evidence today. What Nagoya Grampus, the team in red, will be hoping for is to fall back on their decent home record. 8 home wins and 5 draws in their last 13 games at the Toyota Stadium. So they'll certainly believe in their ability to complete a comeback in this second leg today. It is far from out of the question. The tie is poised oh so finely at just 1-0 to Avispa. Eiju Tsuruno's back post header was the difference between the sides in the first leg. He's dropped to the bench, but will he come on as a substitute and feature again as a prominent player this time out? Or will there be a new hero emerging for one of these two sides? Fantastic support from both the Nagoya Grampus fans and the Avispa Fukuoka fans too. Both sides on the verge of the cup final. Avispa Fukuoka on the verge of history as well, looking for their first place in a major national final. Nagoya Grampus, of course, know what it takes to reach the J.LEAGUE YBC Levain CUP final. They won it back in 2021. That was less than 2 years ago that final took place, when they beat Cerezo Osaka. So many of that Nagoya Grampus squad still playing for the club, going for another trophy. Referee Yoshiro Imamura leads out his team onto the turf at the Toyota Stadium, and it is almost time for the J.LEAGUE YBC Levain Cup semi-final second leg between Nagoya Grampus and Avispa Fukuoka. Avispa holding that slender lead and hoping to see it over the line over the course of the next 90 or more minutes. Let's see whether this one can get done in regulation time or not. The teams line up for these final nervous moments before the semi-final second leg. It's all smiles and shaking hands now, but that will change, of course, in just a few minutes' time. Avispa Fukuoka going really well in the cup competitions this season. They felt the heartache, though, of a semi-final defeat in the Emperor's Cup just a week ago, and they will be desperate to avoid that fate today. However, the last round of the League Cup here in Japan was characterised by second leg comebacks and drama in the knockout stages. Avispa Fukuoka only once before in their history reaching the knockouts of the League Cup, and now so close to a place in the final. A great look there at what the VAR team are watching, what they can see, all the views that they get. And now to the dugouts. Kenta Hasegawa hoping that his team can really challenge Avispa Fukuoka in this second leg, and Shigetoshi Hasebe just hoping to see this over the line somehow. It certainly won't be easy here today with the fans behind Nagoya Grampus. But Fukuoka find themselves in a very good position at kickoff here. If they can score the first goal, they could really take command of this cup tie. It is a bit of a surprise to see 5 changes for Shigetoshi Hasebe. Wellington, the number 18 there, starting up front, the experienced Brazilian. He won the Emperor's Cup back in 2019, Wellington, with Vissel Kobe, his former team. He's actually scored more cup goals, Wellington, than league goals this season. 4 across the 2 cups in Japan, and just 3 league goals to his name. Wellington and Yuya Yamagishi really on form in the cup competitions this season for Fukuoka, and we have to remember they're missing some key players. Ryoga Sato and Lukian, both out injured. That really hurts Fukuoka in their firepower department, but can they rely on Wellington? He was the scorer of the winning goal in a recent league meeting between Avispa Fukuoka and Nagoya Grampus. Wellington's late header giving Fukuoka the win. They have won the last 2 meetings now, Avispa, including the first leg of this cup semi-final, having previously not recorded any wins over Nagoya Grampus before that since 2017. Now they've got 2 1-0 wins, both in recent weeks, to look back upon. And here we go, Nagoya Grampus get us started. Referee Yoshiro Imamura blows for the beginning of this J.LEAGUE YBC Levain Cup semi-final, second leg. Nagoya Grampus in their familiar red with orange, yellow and black trim. Avispa Fukuoka in the grey with their dark blue colours shining through in the stripes. In, and they'll play it out towards the right-hand corner. Avispa Fukuoka, first attacking chance over there towards the away fans. They're nestled in the other corner of the Toyota Stadium today. A minute on the clock. The first chance to launch something into the penalty area for Fukuoka. It's headed on. An easy gather, of course, for Mitchell Langerak. He's been there and done that in football across the world, Mitchell Langerak. The Australian keeper, an AFC Asian Cup winner. Some European fans might remember his time in the German Bundesliga as well, most notably as backup keeper at Borussia Dortmund for Roman Weidenfeller. Langerak scooping a couple of Bundesliga titles and a cup title too. The offside flag there prevents Avispa Fukuoka from getting away down the right-hand side. They're attacking, using that width when they can. There was good pressure on there. The tackle was clean to win the ball back. Lucky for Grampus that the offside flag helped them out. The 2 forwards for Fukuoka, both well beyond the last line of defence. Here's the home team trying to carve something out for themselves, and that looked to have broken down on the right-hand side, but they'll get it back, and there'll be a chance to get something into the box. It stood up. The goalkeeper, who might be partially blinded by that bright ray of sunshine coming in through the rafters of the Toyota Stadium. It's in an awkward position for him right now, occupying a good chunk of that 6-yard box right in front of the goal. Takumi Nagaishi with the challenges ahead for the Fukuoka-born goalkeeper. Will he be called into action here? Not quite yet. Grampus keep the play alive. Pass towards the edge of the area is cut out. Avispa Fukuoka will try and break away up to the halfway line. Can they work this out to the left-hand side? They go down the middle instead with a high ball, but it's headed back. rather carelessly conceded a corner. Nagoya Grampus didn't really need to do that. Certainly didn't mean to. Just those early nerves showing through. Shinosuke Nakatani there. Trying to marshal his defence now in the penalty area. The away fans in dark blue over in that sector, really enjoying the corner being conceded right there. A little bit of early pressure paying dividends to some extent for Avispa Fukuoka. If they can do something with this dead ball situation, they could leave themselves in a great position. Go to the corner of the box. Will there be a shot coming in? They chip it up towards the penalty area instead. It stood up high, but the defensive headers picked up the second ball won by Nagoya Grampus, but it's given back for another chance. Fukuoka can launch that into the box. It's going to curl around, nobody there. But a shot from the edge of the area stings the palms of Langerak. He's got to tip that one over. Hiroyuki Mae taking aim. First test for either goalkeeper inside 5 minutes here. Well, the clearing header fell really kindly straight onto the chest of Hiroyuki Mae. Sat up nicely for him. Routine save for Langerak, but he had to make it. It'll be Katsuya Kono to take the corner. Left-footed in-swinger into the 6-yard box. It's up, but it's not away. And it's into the back of the net as well. The early goal through Wellington, and Avispa Fukuoka lead. And look at what it means to the away fans. I said an early goal could be crucial for Avispa Fukuoka, and they've gone and got one. Breathing space on the scoreboard for Avispa Fukuoka. A 2-goal lead on aggregate. It was messy, it was scrappy, but they will not care. Look at the melee on the goal line. The VAR team will surely be having a look at it. But it was such a mess in there, and just prodded over the line into the roof of the net by Wellington. Credit to him. A little bit of luck, of course, but he reacted quickest. Delight for Shigetoshi Hasabe on the sideline. But Avispa Fukuoka are a step closer to making history. November the 4th and the cup final might have just edged a little bit closer. VAR, as I said, will be having a look at that. They'll check for offside. You'd have to imagine that offside can only be given if so many of the Grampus defenders are actually inside the goal mouth and behind the goal line. It was such a mess in there, but even if the keeper's out of position, there are so many red shirts back. So Kennedy Egbus Mikuni, the defender, is certainly in an offside position, but he doesn't seem to get involved with the play. It's going to be very interesting to see what they decide here. And of course, it could have a massive outcome, massive impact on the outcome. It looks like the goal will be given. No offside. Referee Yoshiro Imamura is okay with it. The VAR team are fine with it too. And Avispa Fukuoka do indeed lead early on in this semi-final second leg. That is exactly what Kenta Hasegawa and Nagoya Grampus did not want. A goal inside 5 minutes. That's all the way through to Takumi Nagaishi. The man in green claims it. He's had nothing to do so far. Yuji Itsumi, who's been moved into more of an attacking role today by coach Hasegawa. It's Naoki Maeda and Taika Nakashima who dropped to the bench. compared to the first leg, so there are some attacking options still waiting in the wings for Nagoya Grampus, of course. Avispa Fukuoka, as I mentioned, a couple of crucial attacking injuries in their lineup. Their best bet on the bench, if they do need goals at some point today, would be Eiju Tsuruno, the man who scored that back post header in the first leg. Avispa doing just fine without him for now. The ball down towards the byline, they won't be able to keep it in. It's too much to ask. Uchida, the FC Tokyo loanee, tried to get on the end of it. Pass forward from Yuichi Maruyama. Just had a little bit too much on it. Nagoya Grampus struggling to click in these early stages. Concerned looks already from Kenta Hasegawa. The aggregate scoreline: Nagoya Grampus 0, Avispa Fukuoka 2. And remember, Avispa Fukuoka have never reached a National Cup final. They've got the longest run of any J-League side without a national trophy. They've got to go all the way back to 1995, when they won the equivalent of the J2 Championships. Since then, such a long and barren spell without silverware for Avispa Fukuoka. They've been a very good cup side this season. They reached the Empress Cup semi-finals, their first semi-final appearance in that cup competition. It was only a week ago that Kanamori and Tsuruno were on the score sheet, but they fell to Kawasaki Frontale. Kawasaki Frontale coming out with a 4-2 victory. They were just too strong last weekend. Avispa know all too well what it feels like to lose with the cup final so close, almost within touching distance. Are they using that as added motivation to be able to get through today's game? They certainly look like they are so far. 10 minutes played. Avispa have the lead on the day and on aggregate. Throw in down in the right corner for Nagoya Grampus. They'll get it to the corner of the box, and that's a clever pass. It's onside as well. And that one has to be turned behind by Nagaishi. Did the offside flag actually go up eventually? To bring an end to that, it looks like it, because Short Inagaki, the captain, doesn't appear to be getting ready for a corner. It was a clever ball though. There's not much in that. First time they've been able to release a little bit of space, and the cross was too close to Nagaishi really, but could certainly have caused some danger. Defensive deflection in that position. Or the keeper parrying the ball back into the penalty area. All of those can certainly create some pretty big moments of danger. The offside flag allows Avispa Fukuoka to release any pressure that Nagoya Grampus were building up. Here they come down the left side. Wellington, the goal scorer, losing his footing. Throw into the home team. The home crowd still trying to push on Nagoya Grampus, of course, but they have fallen a little flat after conceding that early and so messy opening goal. Wellington prodding in from inside the 6-yard box. It's delivered in towards the edge of the 6-yard box. Kono will try and win it. Comes back out. Katsuya Kono whips it towards the back post. Langerak can let it go. It was a teasing cross from Katsuya Kono, which allowed Eiju Tsuruno to head in the first leg. That was such a hard-fought contest. Fukuoka hit the front, just managed to grind out the win. Nagoya were pushing. They just couldn't get back into the contest somehow. A little bit of afters there, off the ball between Kasper Juncker and Tatsuki Nara, the Avispa Fukuoka captain. Referee Imamura just checks it with everybody. He doesn't want it spilling over. It's back with Langerak. Goes for the long option down towards the right. Not enough support though. It was onto the head of Kasper Juncker. The Dane couldn't do anything with it. Nobody around him. Juncker on loan from Urawa Reds. And Urawa find themselves in a similar position to Nagoya Grampus, having lost their first leg as well. They're still involved in these semi-finals. It's Yokohama F. Marinos against Urawa Red Diamonds in the other semi-final, but here come Avispa Fukuoka once again to the edge of the area, but no further. That's been mostly the story of the attacking play in these first 14.5 minutes. Almost a quarter of an hour gone at the Toyota Stadium. Nagaishi well out into his defensive half. The long ball headed back well by Haruya Fuji. That's a loose pass though. Only Avispa Fukuoka players near it. Can they build something from that into the area? And it's cleared away, and now a chance perhaps for Nagoya Grampus to build something, and there've been too few of those so far. That's good movement down in the right corner. Eventually out for a goal kick as well. Frustration for Kensuke Nagai. Dropped the shoulder well, Nagai, to get down towards the byline, but the defender stayed with him. The final touch came back off the Nagoya number 18. Nagoya fans, unsurprisingly, not enjoying how long Takumi Nagaishi was taking to get the goal kick taken. Eventually, he does get play restarted. Bit of head tennis in the midfield. Little drop for the home team. Pass out to the left is intercepted, though. Avispa throw. Yuzawa picks it up in a bit of space and gets it across to Mae. They'll work it patiently across the midfield here, not in a rush now with the 2-0 aggregate lead. They can wait for those openings to come their way, and the shot's curled towards the far post. That was a decent effort. Katsuya Kono taking aim on the left foot. Getting the requisite curl onto the finish. But Langerak had time to watch it. The man with 8 Australia caps got over to it. He's one of the many Nagoya Grampus players who won this League Cup competition back in 2021. Langerak in blue. Gets things restarted on the edge of his penalty area. Uchida's waiting for it, and Uchida finds himself immediately under pressure. Once again, that pressing play, Yuya Yamagishi on this occasion. Yamagishi, who's had a very good cup season for Avispa Fukuoka. 3 goals and 3 assists in the Empress Cup, 2 goals and 1 assist in the League Cup, as the shot comes in from way out. First chance to get the home crowd off their seats, really, for Nagoya Grampus. It was a decent hit. Lifted up and over, but it certainly wasn't too far away, just wide. Nagai thought for a split second that that might be dipping under the crossbar and in. It did get down, you know. Nagaishi was beaten and it dropped, I think, below the crossbar, but crucially just a little to the wide, to the left side rather, and wide of Nagaishi's post. Throw in for Masato Yuzawa. At the moment, the away team just doing a slightly better job of winning the knockdowns and the loose balls. The challenges in that midfield area seem to be going Avispa's way more often than not. And we saw the high pressure just a second ago from Yuya Yamagishi, just closing down, doing the simple things right, getting his job done. But it really prevents Nagoya Grampus from being able to build much, and in the game, we've hardly seen anything from them in terms of concrete breakaways, playing the balls in behind, getting into space in the Avispa Fukuoka half. Instead, unsurprisingly, it's been that long shot from Kensuke Nagai that was as close as anything to troubling Nagaishi. It might take something like that, a moment of magic, to get Nagoya Grampus back into this tie. It's certainly still dangerous at this position. Only 20 minutes played. Avispa do lead 2-0 on aggregate, but a goal now for Nagoya Grampus. And there could be one, and there is indeed one. I was just about to say a goal now for Nagoya Grampus would get them right back into this cup semi-final. And that one fell on a plate for Kensuke Nagai. Avispa Fukuoka's lead is slashed in half, and it's come totally out of the blue. Grampus worked it over to the right, the low cross snuck through. Juncker delivered it, actually. More by luck than judgment, but it snuck past Kennedy Egbus Mikuni, and it was right there for Kensuke Nagai. Nagoya Grampus on the board and back in it at 2-1. Check this one for offside too. No goal. Referee Yoshiro Imamura has signalled for the offside. He's had a word in the earpiece. And Kensuke Nagai's goal is chalked off. No wonder the looks of consternation coming from Kenta Hasegawa. That was a massive lifeline for Nagoya Grampus, but it's been taken away by referee Imamura. What a turning point that could be in this first half, at least. The goal came out of nowhere. And in fairness to Nagoya Grampus, the one that they conceded came out of nowhere as well. Just a corner ball from Avispa Fukuoka that wasn't cleared. It was punched up and into the 6-yard box, and it bounced down for Wellington to prod home. That one counted after the VAR check, but Nagai's goal did not. Crucial. Hopefully we'll get to see that one again. The look there on Kasper Junker's face Really sums up the Nagoya Grampus situation at the moment. 2 down. I thought they were back in it. They thought they were back in it. The home fans are dreaming of this comeback. Header in the area there from Wellington, but no way to generate pace, power or precision. Langerak can come and get it. Nagoya Grampus can start again. The goal may have been ruled out. But will it give them a bit of a boost now? Because they have been rather flat in this first half. We're halfway through it. Right now, especially after that VAR decision, Avispa Fukuoka back in the driving seat. Headed forward. One for Wellington to chase, and he will do so. And the pressure again pays off for Fukuoka. They get the ball back quickly. There's a chance to look to the right wing. They take it as well. Kono drops it inside. Kono's header down towards the byline into the penalty area. It's a good one, and he might get it back here. Katsuya Kono, chance to shoot or go for the cross, goes for the shot, and it needed to be tipped away. A full stretch diving save from Mitchell Langerak. Katsuya Kono, not for the first time today, taking aim with the left foot and curling it around. Hits it right from the corner of the penalty area, and that would have gone in. That would have nestled in the far corner. The inside side netting was the destination for Katsuya Kono's shot. But with 25 minutes gone, it's only a corner for Fukuoka. They've scored from one of these already from this left side. That one's headed over and out of the box. Can they keep it in play? No, they can't. Nagoya Grampus throw. You wonder if that goal that was ruled out there for Kensuke Nagai will also serve as something of a wake-up call for the Avispa Fukuoka defence, because they've had very little to do in the opening 25 minutes here. And then suddenly, the low ball across from wide on the right flank just snuck through everybody. Juncker won the first battle, was able to let the ball roll through. And if he meant it, the challenge there from the Dane in the penalty area was excellent, but even if he didn't, the defence was very much caught flat-footed for Avispa Fukuoka. That really will be the main concern so far for Shigetoshi Hasebe, because other than that, everything's gone according to plan really for Avispa Fukuoka. The early goal, doubling the advantage. They've got a bit of breathing space on the scoreboard. Now they need to hold Nagoya Grampus at arm's length for as long as they can. No away goals in play in the J.LEAGUE YBC Levain CUP. This one's purely on the scoreboard. And on that board right now, it's Nagoya Grampus 0, Avispa Fukuoka 1. And they can add that to their 1-0 win from a few days ago. Nagoya need a goal to cut the advantage in half, and they could do with one before the break. We've got plenty of time before half-time, and they are growing into the game now, Nagoya Grampus. Fukuoka had it back, but they've given it back to the home side just as quickly. Possession stats building up now for Nagoya Grampus. Can they make something of it though? Not this time, it's cleared away onto the chest. Offside flags up, and again, Nagoya Grampus will get the ball back quickly. The home team is establishing dominance of a sense, but they're giving it away far too carelessly in the opposition half as well. As soon as they get into Avispa territory, the passes are just not clicking. Good through ball down the right-hand side, and there's so much space there. The flag stays down. Over on the right they go, near post shots. It's Katsuya Kono again. Kono, one of the 5 changes to the starting lineup from this first leg. He's really earned his inclusion in this second leg from coach Shigetoshi Hasebe. Katsuya Kono with dangerous crosses, dangerous shots. That's another one wide at the near post. Worth a go, tried to catch out Langerak down on that near side. He wasn't too far away. Takuya Uchida. The simple ball back to Yuichi Maruyama. This is all Grampus can do at the moment. Defensive passing. Maruyama was the option open again, but they've gone to the right side. Takuya Uchida wants it down over on the left flank. He's in so much space, but again they'll go down the right instead. They've had a little bit more success on that side, Grampus. Ball in. Took a dangerous touch on the edge of the box, but it's blasted up and away. The ball's back down on the halfway line. Now back with Mitchell Langerak, the Grampus goalkeeper. Uchida brings it over the halfway line. Half an hour gone here at the Toyota Stadium. That man, Kensuke Nagai, the man in possession right now. He thought that he pulled back a crucial goal to half the deficit for Nagoya Grampus. Instead, it was ruled out for offside. Grampus have it all to do. 15 minutes left before the break. They would love to get one back before then, if possible. Are starting to push now and build up a little bit of momentum in the game. They've got to be careful not to play recklessly. It's that balance now, isn't it? They need the goals, Nagoya Grampus, but they can't afford to leave themselves exposed, because whilst 2-0 is a healthy looking lead for Avispa Fukuoka, 3-0 might well put this tie beyond all doubt. They can't afford to leave spaces the away team to exploit. Kono once again going for a clever pass. He loves to play the unexpected ball, doesn't he, Katsuya Kono? Always looking to drop it down towards the byline if possible. Try and get the defence turning around, dropping onto the back foot. Throw-in taken, and as I mentioned earlier, that theme has continued. Fukuoka in these tight spaces, really able to win the ball back quickly, stop Grampus from stringing together the passes and getting forward. It's Kennedy Egwas Mikuni this time, Japan under-19 and under-20 international. Avispa Fukuoka not really showing too much in attack right now, but even so, just the flashes that they have shown when they do get forward, these shots from Katsuya Kono that spring to mind, they've looked probably more dangerous than anything Nagoya Grampus have created, aside from the goal that was ruled out. Masato Yuzawa, everybody standing off, Nagai leaving him space to go back. chase it down though. Juncker going for the pressure that time. Might have committed a foul in the process. It's the captain Tatsuki Nara who's down. It's not the first run-in that these two have had in the opening 33 minutes, but maybe a more painful one this time for Nara. Juncker, who's got every right to come across and try and block that ball, but surely caught Nara a little high and a little late there. He's protesting his innocence. It might not be his finest moment of the day, Kasper Juncker, but he is a man who's got all the experience and the nous at this level to get Grampus back into this tie if the opportunities can be served up for him. Kasper Juncker won the Emperor's Cup in 2021 with Urawa Reds, won the AFC Asian Champions League with Urawa Reds as well. Knows what it takes to score at a very high level indeed. Won the Golden Boot as well in the Eliteserien in Denmark. 27 goals back in the 1920 season. 2019-2020, I should add. Not that anybody was wondering whether Kasper Juncker was playing in the Eliteserien 100 years ago, but just to be sure. He's headed back towards the area. Grampus will get it away, but once again, so quickly the ball's back with Avispa Fukuoka. Possession changing hands on a very, very high frequency at the moment, but that will suit Fukuoka more than Nagoya Grampus. Tennis again over by the halfway line. This time Nagoya get the free kick and they'll take it quickly. Pass blocked. And the free kick goes the way of Avispa Fukuoka as well. Now the home fans getting riled up. Nagoya Grampus in that last passage of play just starting to show a little bit more intensity. You can see the pitch chopping up from that view. Mikuni, the man who is adjudged to have been fouled. It's nodded on, but the defence will get it back. Haruya Fuji picking it up easily for Nagoya Grampus. Now the home team have another throw-in. Can only go backwards though, all the way back to Mitchell Langerak. Oh, his pass was so nearly intercepted. This high pressure still causing all sorts of problems for Nagoya Grampus. We're edging ever closer to the final few minutes of this first half. Still the same old problems that have plagued Nagoya Grampus from minute one here. Cross comes in. Go direct, but it's wide. Too high, too wide, off target from Yota Mayajima. Found a bit of space on the edge of the area, thought it was worth a go. Yuzawa's cross just ended up with Yota Mayajima. Thought he had an angle, thought he had a chance. Touched away off the toe for this corner. That one's cleared out for a throw-in. Again, no rush to take this. Masato Yuzawa coming over to take it eventually, but Avispa Fukuoka would be absolutely delighted to go in at the half-time interval with this lead. Therefore, just 45 minutes left for Nagoya Grampus to play their way back into this and really compete for that spot in the J.LEAGUE YBC Levain Cup final. A goal before the break would change everything. Here's a chance perhaps to get one. Ball across the middle. It's touched away by the goalkeeper. There was danger in that though. That was a very good delivery, and it was reminiscent in a way of the one time that Nagoya Grampus did get the ball into the back of the net today. Yoda Moishita heavily involved, but that one's back now with Maruyama. Getting into the box again. It's not cleared convincingly at all. In the end, just booted away. Now perhaps a chance for Grampus to give themselves a foothold in this cup tie. Morishita over on the right-hand side. They drop it back. Nakatani. Uchida lays it back for Yoshida. Good work in the tight spaces for the first time in a while. And again, Avispa Fukuoka able to come across and do the job. Bit of room on the right now for Nagoya Grampus. They'll play it in towards the edge of the area. Can they get further? Izumi gets it down to the right. It's across the box, but it's still alive here. They'll have a chance to recycle it and go again. Nagai turning and twisting, getting the ball across, but Takumi Nagaishi is able to gather it. Kensuke Nagai holding his head in his hands in frustration. Inagaki's ball across. Didn't really find a recipient in the middle, but it stayed alive for Takuya Uchida. And then it was a good turn from Nagai. That wasn't really what he was looking for. Never had the angle to challenge Nagaishi, the goalkeeper. 4.5 minutes left in regulation time in the first half here of this semi-final second leg. Avispa Fukuoka leading by 2-0 on aggregate. Now though, the home team Nagoya Grampus starting to search for a way back into the tie. Yunka just dispossessed. Keeper Nagaishi will come and boot that one high over the halfway line. The man who was born in Fukuoka, Takumi Nagaishi, has kept 3 clean sheets in 5 League Cup appearances in this campaign. At the moment, he's close to halfway through another one. Nagai stumbles in pursuit of the ball. Nagaishi will once again play it high with the right boot over the halfway line. Captain Short Inagaki. Can he steer his team back into this semi-final? Somebody needs to take the game by the scruff of the neck here for Nagoya Grampus, because it's slipping away from them at 2-0. Inagaki. They are much more comfortable in possession than they were in the first half hour, but they haven't exactly been laying siege to Nagaishi's goal yet. Fukuoka have offered less and less as an attacking force as the game goes on, but there are always chances like this when you're 2 up. They can wait for the chances to come their way. Good run. Kono still going across the box, but drops it off in the end and commits the foul as well. Kono loves to cut in onto that left foot. Not a surprise to see that happening at all. No end product this time though. tremendous venue here, the Toyota Stadium, just east of Nagoya, nestled between Tokyo and Osaka. But right now, it's the away fans from Fukuoka who are enjoying it all the more at 2-0 to the good. Wellington's early goal, doubling the aggregate advantage. It was as scrappy as they come. But Avispa Fukuoka will not care, because right now it's got them a step closer to the J.LEAGUE YBC Levain Cup final. They won't be thinking about it just yet. They might dare themselves to dream. I'm sure the fans are already doing that. If the players can get in at half-time with the 2-goal advantage, they will know that they're in a commanding position. Yuzawa is the wide option over on the right side. He lifts it forward, but it's headed away. Grampus have it back with captain Inagaki. Ball down the middle. Leads to the free kick. Kensuke Nagai. Brought down by Tatsuki Nara. It was a clever turn. Knew what he was doing there, Kensuke Nagai. Just got his body in the right place. It was the lightest of contacts. He wasn't really going to be able to turn and run onto that. But the collision with Tatsuki Nara made sure of it. And right now, in minute 45, it's the first real set-piece opportunity for Nagoya Grampus in this first half. Crowd behind the goal, just bouncing, hoping and praying that Nagoya Grampus can make something of this, with Nagai standing over it. Nagai's right-footed delivery curling towards the back post. It's headed away with some commitment. The ball's cleared, but it'll come straight back. 4 minutes added on after the VAR checks in this half. Delivery not of a high enough quality though from Ryoda Morishita. Fukuoka could have afforded to leave it, but it got a touch on the way through. And that's why Takuya Uchida has the ball for the throw-in over in the left corner for Nagoya Grampus. Pass down towards the corner of the box. Haruki Yoshida gets it out of the tight space, and they'll go down towards the left corner again. It's headed on. Just a few signs of encouragement towards the end of this first half for Nagoya Grampus. They do have a long way back, but it all starts with one goal. Fukuoka are in uncharted territory here, leading in a cup semi-final. For Nagoya, they know what it takes to get through these games. If they can pull one back, the Avispa Fukuoka players will be feeling the nerves. Here's a chance into the area, shooting chance. It's battered away by the goalkeeper. First really good shot on target in a while, and Takumi Nagaishi was equal to it. It was a save that you'd expect him to make in that central position. Morishita's shot fell nicely onto his left foot. He leathered it goalwards with some power. The keeper got two fists to it. Minutes remaining in first half stoppage time here. Nagoya Grampus still looking the more likely of the two teams perhaps to get the goal. You'd expect Shigetoshi Hasebe will be happy with the way that Avispa Fukuoka are playing, though it's a little dangerous to sit back on a 2-goal lead, but they know that counter chances will come their way. They've got to try and strike when one does fall for them. That was unfortunate for Ryuji Izumi. The ball just spinning back around and out of play. I thought it might have been a corner, but Izumi tried to keep it on. And the man moved up from a more defensive midfield role in the first leg to an attacking role in this second leg. Izumi, he's not really been able to get into the game too much, and nor has that man Kasper Juncker. All the goal-scoring experience you could need. Nothing has really fallen his way. Into the last of the 4 added minutes. Wellington wants it high up the pitch. Jumps for the aerial battle and leads it on, but it's straight back to Maruyama. Nakatani in defence. Pass is intercepted rather easily. Good ball into the centre circle. Space over on the right if they wanted it. They've gone left instead. They'll just boot it forward. Nagishi well offside. Opts to let it go. And that should be that for the end of the first half. There's the whistle from referee Yoshiro Imamura. So far so good for Avispa Fukuoka. The early goal from Wellington gives them a 2-goal aggregate advantage. It came from a corner kick. It was as messy as you could ever see a goal. The corner wasn't cleared. It was high up into the box and it dropped in the 6-yard box into a melee of players. But it was Wellington who had the poacher's instinct to find the back of the net and make it Nagoya Grampus 0, Avispa Fukuoka 2 on aggregate. Stay with us for the second half. Nagoya at home will be looking to make a sensational turnaround. A goal would get them right back into the contest, but right now they've been a little flat in the first 45 plus 4. Fukuoka leading by 2 and looking to secure that historic place in the J.LEAGUE YBC Levain Cup final. Stay with us for the second half. welcome back to the Toyota Stadium, to the east of Nagoya. It's J.LEAGUE YBC Levain Cup semi-final, second leg, and now second half as well. Avispa Fukuoka, the away team, currently delighting their away fans. They're winning 1-0 on the day, 2-0 on aggregates, and it needs a very, very big second half indeed from Kenta Hasegawa's Nagoya Grampus team. Is there a way back into this semi-final contest for the hosts here? The home fans would love to see it. I'm sure many of you watching would love to see it as well. But right now, it's Avispa Fukuoka who are in the box seat. Wellington's early goal. The difference between the two teams so far, Nagoya Grampus had one ruled out for offside midway through the first half as well. Looks like a double substitution to be made. It's Yosuke Ideguchi and Douglas Grolly coming on. Grolly, a defensive change coming in for Kennedy Mikuni. Confirmation as well that Ideguchi will come on in place of Kimiya Moriyama. We didn't see much from Moriyama in the first half. Will that signal something of a tactical shift for Shigetoshi Hasebe? Ideguchi on, Grolly on. And they can wait for the chances to break to come their way. They don't need to risk pushing too many men forward, Fukuoka, but the nerves will certainly start to kick in if Grampus can dominate the second half in the way that they never quite managed to in the first half. They had the upper hand, certainly in the closing stages. They were on top, but it was all a bit laboured, and it was all a little bit difficult for Nagoya Grampus to get going. You might have expected it in the first leg away in Fukuoka, but in this second leg, they need to take command and get themselves back into this game. They're certainly not out of it yet, as the clock starts to tick away in this second half. Fukuoka will be happier and happier with the scoreline remaining as it is. My name's Tom Midler. It is an absolute pleasure to be with you here today as we enter this second half of the J.LEAGUE YBC Levain Cup semi-final, second leg. It is right down to business. We're really at the sharp end of this League Cup competition. Only one of these two teams can find themselves in November's final and book themselves a ticket to the National Stadium. Second half comebacks were a symbol, really, of the knockout ties earlier on in this competition, and there was a first little opening from Kensuke Nagai, unsurprisingly. So often the creative outlet for Nagoya in this game. Jesper Juncker yet to really have anything to attack in the penalty area, but they've earned themselves a corner early on here. Fukuoka scored from an early corner situation in the first half. Why cannot Nagoya Grampus believe that they'll do the same early in the second half? Juncker waiting. So much focus on him today. It's a decent ball into the edge of the 6-yard box. It's up. But keeper Nagaishi is able to get up too. Pluck that one out of the air. The last meeting between these two sides at the Toyota Stadium ended up in a 2-1 win for Nagoya Grampus. Back in the J-League in June, that fixture. Matheus, the first scorer for Nagoya, back on the day. He's no longer with the club, having left for Saudi Arabia. Matheus plying his trade now at Al Tawoun. are so many members of this Nagoya Grampus squad who will have very, very good memories of the Levain Cup. Many of them lifting the trophy back in 2021, less than 2 years ago. Douglas Grolly makes his introduction to the game, leaping high in the aerial battle but conceding the free kick in the process. I wonder if we'll see Rei Jutsuruno, Fukuoka goalscorer from the first leg. Will he play a part today? For now, though, it's defensive duties for Fukuoka in front of their band of away fans. It's delivered to the far side of the penalty area, but headed away, and Grolly will chase it out as well. Grampus get the ball back and they take it quickly. It's only a small thing, retrieving the ball and getting the throw in back in play as quickly as possible, but it's all a couple of seconds here or there. They need every second they can get. 2 goals down on aggregate. Really, it's just a bit of a tempo builder as well. As I said, they looked so flat-footed at times in the first half and very much laboured in their attacking play, Nagoya Grampus. There's no question that in reality, 11 players who were out there, the coach as well, everybody on the bench, they're all desperate to get back into this tie and really give Nagoya Grampus a good shot at reaching the final. But when the game gets laboured and it gets slow, it just plays into the hands of the team who are leading on the scoreboard. It just gives off that feeling that builds the frustration for Nagoya Grampus that nothing's really working. They can't turn up the tempo and really threaten against Avispa Fukuoka. Instead, everything feels like hard work. They've got time to change it if they can. Here come Fukuoka though, their first foray forward in this second half, and they drop the ball out to the right hand side. It's passed across the box, it's well left. Good combination play, but into the arms of Mitchell Langerak in the end. Yanagishi playing himself into a good position, but nothing quite on for Yamagishi in the end, the former Gifu and Montedio Yamagata player. He's been with Fukuoka since 2020, the 30-year-old. It's an experienced forward line today with Wellington and Yamagishi. Right now, they're not missing the goals of Ryoga Sato and Luke Yan. Could have been a huge blow for them ahead of this cup semi-final to be without 2 proven goal scorers in both legs. But right now, they're just about doing enough without them. Tsuruno in leg 1, and now Wellington early in leg 2. Fukuoka have the advantage. Free kick, Grampus, still inside their own half. It's short Inagaki. Inagaki, who was one of the scorers in the 2021 final. It was Inagaki and Maeda on that day as they defeated Cerezo Osaka by 2-0. It all seems a long way off right now. Grampus still on the ball. They get it over the halfway line, out to the right-hand side. Good pass into Morishita. He cuts back in nicely. A little bit of room to run, but the pass is dropped off. Free kick's gone the way of Morishita. Yamagishi not too happy. He was fouled, but the foul came a little later. First, it was a foul for the home team. That one that they wanted down in the corner, they didn't get. Fukuoka bring it away. It's really well won back by Haruya Fuji. It's going to be a thunderous 50-50 challenge there. 2 players go flying in, but here goes Kasper Juncker into the penalty area. He's gone down. Final shot's gone wide, but is it a penalty to get Nagoya Grampus back into the game? Well, Yoshiro Imamura points clearly to the spot. And this is exactly what Shigetoshi Hasebe wanted to avoid early in the second half. They'll take another look at it, but Juncker steps back. There's not too much contact with Grolli there. Grolli feels like he pulled out of the challenge. Juncker made sure of the contact and went down. The final shot went wide. It was a good save, actually, from Nagaishi. But will VAR confirm this penalty, or will Nagoya Grampus feel hard done by again? They had a goal ruled out in the first half by VAR, and I do wonder if they'll have a penalty ruled out here too, because there wasn't much in that. The contact seemed to be at least half initiated by Kaspar Juncker. He made sure that he made contact with Grolli. Grolli left him the room to step inside to his left, and Juncker did so. And then Juncker hit the deck. Big decision for referee Imamura right now. And a big decision in the context of this semi-final second leg. Well, the two players involved having a discussion about it. You can see pretty clearly from the body language. Douglas Grolli, a 34-year-old centre-back, just saying, look, I stepped out of the way, I stepped back and allowed you the room to go past. He did pull his leg back, Grolli, in a way. On the one replay, it made it look as if that had happened as a result of the contact. But if he pulled his leg away first, then surely this will not be a penalty. But this is crucial again for Nagoya Grampus. It was the same position in the first half. Kensuke Nagai slotted in, and immediately you felt that Nagoya Grampus were back in the game, and they're going to have the momentum all on their side as well if it comes back to 2-1. But that is an if right now. It's a big if. Referee Yoshiro Imamura still waiting. VAR still checking. Wonder if he's going to have to go to the screen and have a look at this himself. He's communicating clearly with the players. We don't get the advantage of hearing the decision ourselves, but there is contact there with the shin. I wonder if they're looking at both incidents. And look at those anguished faces. They know they really could do with this spot kick opportunity. Big decision coming up for referee Imamura. It's either a tremendous lifeline for Nagoya Grampus or a let-off for Avispa Fukuoka. He's going to go and take a look at the screen. I thought that might happen quite a while ago, in all honesty. It looked like it was going to be one that referee Imamura has to go and sort out for himself. It's so hard to make a call. Of course, my opinion from the commentary box is absolutely unimportant. It's all about what Yoshiro Imamura thinks. I'm sure opinions will be divided amongst those watching, whether watching at home or watching in the stadium. The referee appears to have made up his mind, but which way has he decided? No penalty. Nagoya Grampus will feel incensed by a second VAR decision going against them in the game. Twice they've had a potential lifeline removed. And now the Fukuoka players saying, well, if you think that was a dive by Kaspar Juncker, you've surely got to give him a caution as well. Juncker at the heart of it. Referee Imamura grabbing the ball, saying we'll do this on my terms. Grolly gets away with it. Captain Nara saying where's the caution for diving. I think in fairness, the referee might have got that spot on. There was contact with Kaspar Juncker. As much as Captain Tatsuki Nara wants the yellow card for a dive, there was contact between the right leg of Kaspar Juncker and the shin of Douglas Grolly. So it's not a pure dive. For what it's worth, I think the referee has called that spot on. Contact was at least partially initiated by Kaspar Juncker, the striker. He had the chance to avoid it. This one's going on and on and on. Kensuke Nagai incensed. Short Inagaki now trying to pull his teammate away before Nagai goes into the book. Referee Imamura has been very lenient and very calm and patient when it comes to dishing out cards today. I don't remember him reaching for his pocket, and if he doesn't do so here, then he truly is a patient man. So many complaints, so much to say. Short Inagaki doing the captain's duty and saying, yeah, we've got it, let's carry on. But both sets of players really unhappy about what they've seen. Now Wellington getting involved too. This one's still rumbling on in the penalty area. There's going to be plenty of stoppage time added at the end of this game, and in the end, if Nagoya Grampus are on the comeback trail by then, these are all going to be nervy minutes after the 90th for Avispa Fukuoka. Daikimiya over there too, one of the new faces brought into the starting 11 for this second leg. You'd have to say that so far Shigetoshi Hasabe's 5 changes, which look to be a little bit of an eyebrow raiser before this second leg. They've really done their work well so far. Miya coming in, Maejima, Kono, Mae and Yamagishi. All of them have played some kind of part in this 2-goal advantage. Maejima had a good shot saved. Kono tested the keeper on a couple of occasions, but Kono's day is done. Takeshi Kanamori coming on in his place. You wouldn't exactly say that Takumi Nagaishi's goal has lived a charmed life in this game, but still, the goal ruled out for offside against Kensuke Nagai. I'm not exactly sure who was the offside player in that incident in the first half, midway through the first 45 minutes, when Nagoya Grampus thought that Nagai had got one back for them. And now Kaspar Juncker's controversial penalty call, both of them overturned by VAR against Nagoya Grampus. 61.5 minutes on the clock. But when Kaspar Juncker collided with Douglas Grolly, we were well under the hour mark here at the Toyota Stadium. There really will be a lot of stoppage time added. It's tempting to say that Avispa Fukuoka are half an hour from the final, but that just isn't true right now. Fuji plays it forward, but is snuffed out by the players in the grey and dark blue stripes. They've been really well managed. They win the ball back. Get it out to the left-hand side. Could be a chase on there. They'll take the free kick instead. Hiroyuki Mae was scrambling to get down the flank. Instead, we do see a card finally from referee Imamura. It's Haruya Fuji who goes into the book changes made already in the match then by coach Shigetoshi Hasebe. Just trying to prevent Avispa Fukuoka getting heavy legs in this second half. Triple change now for Nagoya Grampus. So Nakashima comes on for Nagai, the industrious Kensuke Nagai, who's been at the heart of everything good that Nagoya Grampus have created in the first hour or so. Not to say that there's been so much of it, but when there were positive moments, Kensuke Nagai was there. Free kick whipped into the box. It's a rare foray forward for Avispa Fukuoka. I'm not sure how many more of these we'll see before the game is up. Yeah, content to sit back at the moment, but that's nice movement. They want the free kick over on the corner of the area. They're not getting it, though. Now the space to move forward. They have created a bit of room for a change, Nagoya Grampus. And Avispa Fukuoka did commit men forward to the attack. This is exactly the example as to why they won't do it too much. Avispa Fukuoka committing 3, 4, 5 men forward. Finally, Nagoya Grampus have a little bit of room to work with on the attack themselves. Culminates in this dead ball situation over on the left flank. Kanamori, the man penalised. Tsukasa Morishima, the man who's just come on in that triple change. It's Morishima, Nakashima, and Maeda coming on for Uchida, Yoshida, and Nagai. And now, dangerous dead ball situation. It's played in from the flank, but it's well headed, well out of the area. Try and recycle that with Maeda. Get it into the middle, and they'll spread it to the left. The pitch is cutting up now, players losing their footing all over the midfield. High ball in, they can leave it, let it go. Hands up in the air from the Fukuoka defenders. They're happy to see that one drift all the way through the box and out. Avispa Fukuoka goal kick, 65 minutes played. Look there at Taika Nakashima. Unsurprisingly now it's attacking changes. Naoki Maeda and Taika Nakashima, perhaps the biggest goal threats on Kenta Hasegawa's bench, and now both of them are onto the field at the Toyota Stadium. Turf making life difficult there though, no control in the midfield as the ball bobbled up just before Nagoya Grampus had it back. Now it's really messy battle in the middle, really physical battle as well. Advantage played in favour of Fukuoka. Wellington lurking in the box if they can get something in. He might be the only player waiting for it. But it's over and out of play from Masato Yuzawa. So in theory, half of this second half has gone by already. But if you're just joining us here in the second half, the early goal poked home from close range in amongst a sea of red and grey shirts inside the 6-yard box. That came from Wellington roughly 5 minutes into the game. That's given Fukuoka a 2-goal aggregate advantage, and on a couple of occasions. It's looked like Grampus had the chance to cut that lead in half, but in the first half, Kensuke Nagai's shot, which went past the keeper and into the back of the net, that one was ruled out for offside. And now early on in the second half, Kasper Juncker was initially adjudged to have been fouled by Douglas Grolli. But now here's a chance for Fukuoka to perhaps put this tie to bed. Shots turned towards goal. But it's well wide in the end. No good contact on it in the penalty area. That's the best chance we've seen from Avispa Fukuoka for quite a while. In the end, no danger for Mitchell Langerak, the man in blue, in between the sticks for Nagoya Grampus. Gets it back here. I think it would be fair to say that another goal now will pretty much be the end of this as a contest. As it is, it's just a case of whether Nagoya Grampus can right themselves and find that burst of tempo, maybe a lucky break, maybe a moment of magic, just something to get them on the board and make this a frantic finale. It is a cup semi-final. It is uncharted territory for Avispa Fukuoka and Shigetoshi Hasebe. They will get nervous if, and it's a big if right now, but if Nagoya Grampus just register something on the scoreboard. They thought they had that penalty only a few minutes into the second half when Kasper Juncker went down. That was ruled out after a very lengthy VAR check that left Nagoya Grampus and all the players on the field feeling pretty deflated. And Avispa Fukuoka were incensed themselves that Kasper Juncker wasn't cautioned for a dive. That's what Yoshiro Imamura and the VAR team between them decided. For my money, they got the call just about spot on. But here we are with 20 minutes of normal time remaining. Avispa Fukuoka still with 1 foot in the J.LEAGUE YBC Levain CUP final. String together a few passes there. Fukuoka with a through ball asked far, far too much down the right-hand side, and it's easy for Langerak to come and collect. Long direct ball forward. Nagaishi doesn't need to race out of goal to come and get it. He's happy to let it drift back towards him and just grab it after the bounce. Time is starting to tick away. I wouldn't be surprised if we had 8 or 9 minutes of stoppage time when we reach 90. Nagoya Grampus stealing a few yards on the throw in there. That's standard practice these days. I say these days, it's been standard practice for a long, long time, really. Here's a chance to extend the play out to the right-hand side. Space in the middle now. Shot from way out. It's right up into the crowd. He was always leaning too far back there. Well over the top in the end. The openings are beginning to come. Yosuke Ideguchi trying to make an impact since his introduction as a substitute. Pass is cushioned forward there by Yuya Yamagishi. No takers on the end of it. It's back with the Nagoya Grampus defence. Still, though, they're going to have to offer an awful lot more than they've shown so far. They're right on cue. A little example of the wires crossed. Miscommunications in attack for Nagoya Grampus. Another change here from Kenta Hasegawa. It will have to be something of an impact substitution. Gishi was the man there who went down briefly. I wonder if he was taken out by the referee. Here come Nagoya Grampus, leading it forward. There might be a free kick coming their way. If this comes to nothing, it's advantage played. Shot blocked in the area. Wally getting behind it. We haven't quite reached that time yet where his body's on the line for Avispa Fukuoka, but I wouldn't be surprised if it turns into that before the end. Wellington not happy with the decision. Ideguchi offering his apologies. He got the ball first with his left foot, Ideguchi. But just swung through with the right foot and fouled Ryoya Morishita. Sakuji Yonemoto coming on in place of Yuji Izumi. They've had a few set-piece situations. Nagoya Grampus. Too many crosses drifting over towards the back of the penalty area where they're headed away comfortably by Avispa Fukuoka defenders. They need to start doing more with them. They need to start doing a little bit more in every department, really, the home team. Because they trail by 2. And there are 16 minutes of normal time remaining in this J.LEAGUE YBC Levain CUP semi-final, second leg. Avispa Fukuoka will be starting to dream of a place at the National Stadium in November for their first national showpiece finale. They've got to defend this before they think of anything, though. It's lifted up into the area. Again, they go to the far side of the penalty area. That's been the tactic all day long, trying to hit their targets over in some space deep into the penalty area, but this time it was a little bit more dangerous, but Fukuoka able to get it away for this throw-in, and they'll have another one now with Fuji. It's back to Yonemoto, the man who's just come on. Adeyama spreads it to the left. Still grey shirts in the way, hassling, harrying, closing down, putting pressure on. Whenever they get towards the edge of the final 30, and Nagoya Grampus has frustrated them today. Barely had any room to work with, and when they have, they've not done enough with it. There's another example, pass cut out all too easily. Fukuoka don't need to do anything with it, just get it down. Pass into the empty left flank. Let another few seconds, precious seconds for Nagoya Grampus, just tick away and try and get the forwards involved to press it back. Drop the pass inside. Now they go for a through ball. Not quite accurate enough. The intended recipient, Naoki Maeda, just had to stretch for it, couldn't bring the ball under control. And again, it's another giveaway of the kind that Nagoya Grampus can scarcely afford in these closing stages. Kenta Hasegawa really wondering what's left up his sleeve right now. Is there anything for Nagoya Grampus to turn this around? Silence in the stadium temporarily. Might be an offside flag coming here. But Fukuoka battle for it. They're into the edge of the penalty area. Maybe a shooting chance as well. It's deflected. The block falling the way of the red shirts. They needed it to. Fukuoka win it back, but they can only sweep it away for a Nagoya Grampus throw, which is taken quickly by Maeda. The home fans at the Toyota Stadium, just outside of Nagoya, trying to rally the home team for one last push here in the final 15 minutes. It will be a bit more than that, as I've said. I expect 8 or 9 minutes of stoppage time after the lengthy VAR check, which ultimately took away the penalty for the challenge on Kasper Juncker. Nagoya Grampus will look back at that It's a key moment in this semi-final. They had chances in the first leg themselves. Avispa Fukuoka got the job done with Reiju Tsuruno heading in at the back post from a Katsuya Kono cross deep into first half stoppage time in leg one. But after that, in the second half, it was a bit of an onslaught from Nagoya Grampus, but on that occasion they didn't quite do enough. They couldn't score, they couldn't level up the tie. And on this occasion, even on home turf, they haven't quite done enough either. Remember, they're unbeaten in 13 matches at the Toyota Stadium. It would be quite a scalp if Avispa Fukuoka were to come here and win this second leg to seal their place in the final. It would be the perfect preparation for the showpiece game. Vissel Kobe in the group stages of this League Cup competition, the last team to come here and win. That was months and months ago now. And Avispa Fukuoka, who hadn't recorded a single win against Nagoya Grampus, stretching all the way back to 2017. They now have 2 1-0 wins against them in the last month, including the first leg of this semi-final and the 1-0 win thanks to Wellington's late header in the J-League around about a month ago. If they complete this today, they'll make it 3 on the bounce against Nagoya Grampus. Still, a bit of time left to go before they start thinking about that, though. Nagoya Grampus moving it around well, but again, big pressure coming and coming quickly. Nice idea with the flick to try and release a little bit of space down the left for Fukuoka. It didn't come off. Good passing on the edge of the box. Grampus trying to open up a shooting opportunity, but there's been so few and far between today. Clearance falls for Wellington. He can waste a bit of time here and just stretch his legs down the left flank. Stopped well. Crucial stop from the number 14. Tsukasa Morishima needed to make that, win the ball back quickly. 80 minutes are up. Good ball into the penalty area. Juncker can't turn, has to go out to the left flank. Over towards the left corner. Morishita has no room. Get it back for a chance to whip in a delivery perhaps though. And they do that on the right foot. It's curling and it's disappointing in all honesty from Nagoya Grampus. No danger at all from the delivery from captain Sho Inagaki. Just sums up the attacking efforts of Nagoya Grampus really in this game. Their 2 potential lifelines that I referenced, of course, the goal ruled out that came from the boot of Kensuke Nagai. That really was a bolt from the blue. It would have got Nagoya back into the tie, but you can't say it was really earned or deserved necessarily. It was just a pass into the box that snuck through the Fukuoka defence. Now here come Avispa Fukuoka at the other end. It's headed back cleverly. Is there a shooting chance from there? There is. On the edge of the area. Langerak untroubled though. He'll boot the ball long down the left. That's a decent one actually to run onto. Nagoya Grampus will earn themselves a throw-in in a good position from it. Douglas Grolly with no choice but to get that out of play. Change being made. Sho Inagaki withdrawn. On comes Tojiro Kubo. Throw in for Nagoya Grampus. Throw back along the touchline. They'll get it into the middle for Nakatani. Fuji up for the new man Kubo. Can't go anywhere though. Runs down a cul-de-sac. Nice idea with the run down the right, but the defender got his body in the way really well. Mayajima, perfect positioning from Yota Mayajima. Got the foot in, won the ball, won the free kick to Tochiro Kubo. Just clattered into the back of Mayajima's leg once he'd got it in the way. You do start to wonder now if that contingent of away fans over in the far corner, clad in the colours of dark blue, colours of Avispa Fukuoka, you wonder whether it is their place at the National Stadium for November's final now. Nagoya Grampus just haven't offered enough. Fukuoka are edging ever closer as the minutes tick by. 84 minutes gone. We could still have a quarter of an hour left to play, but probably no more than that. Free kick there. Goes against Kanamori. Nagoya Grampus, they need a goal in the next couple of minutes if they're to stand a realistic chance of building a platform from which to go and get the second goal and send this game into extra time. They've got it wide on the left and they'll run towards the area, but the cross is blocked. The dedication and the positioning from the Avispa Fukuoka defenders, it's just been pretty much spot on all day long today. Cross delivered in, that's a good ball, it's dropped back. It stings the palms of Nagaishi, but no more than that. That's really the best chance that Nagoya Grampus have carved out all game long, and it's taken more than 85 minutes of football for them to do so. Kasper Juncker heavily involved, but Takumi Nagaishi, the Avispa Fukuoka goalkeeper, able to parry it away. He did make one decent save from the boot of Morichita in the first half, but that was central. This one was more dangerous as the ball was played nicely back in the penalty area. They set themselves up very well for the shot there, Nagoya Grampus. But crucially, Nagaishi kept it out. .86 minutes gone. 4 minutes left of normal time. Header at the back post is a good one. And for the second time in quick succession, Nagaishi called into action. But he gets the job done again, and now could there be a break on for Fukuoka? Not this time. Kanamori fancied the breakaway down the left-hand side, but he was just short of receiving the pass. He played it onto himself. Now a chance. That's a good ball down towards the byline. It's cut back across, but there's too much on it. Just played in, fizzed across the face, across the penalty area, but nobody there to pick it up. Not until right on the sideline. And the commitment again. Absolutely full-blooded from Avispa Fukuoka. So they prevent the corner. It was just a throw-in, but what can they do with it? It's another decent delivery. And now Nagaishi once again coming off the goal line to tap it away. Just tipped it with the glove. Imagine now if this were 2-1, Fukuoka would be rocking. They would be absolutely feeling the nerves at this point of the game, but right now, instead, the desperation is with Nagoya Grampus because they still need two. The goal now will purely set us up for a grandstand finish in stoppage time. I'm sure the neutrals want to see it. We might well get one. The ball's loose in the penalty area. Who does it fall to? Crucially, it falls to Fukuoka to get it away. It inches agonisingly slowly towards the corner flag and out for only a Nagoya Grampus throw-in. Nothing more. 88 minutes played. Perhaps 10 minutes in total remaining. You really can't fault the work rate of Shigetoshi Hasebe and his Fukuoka team today. It's another one for Nagaishi to deal with. And look at the celebrations from the Fukuoka goalkeeper. That was a thunderbolt towards his near post. But again, Takumi Nagaishi was equal to it. Yuaya Morishita. A second shot from him in the game, and it's loose in the box once more. And again, there are grey shirts there to block it. Now it's headed wide. Nagaishi just able to watch it across the face of his goal. Referee Yamamura over there straight away as Nagaishi showed the body language of absolute disinterest in taking this goal kick in any fashion resembling hastily. Referee Imamura makes sure he doesn't kill too many seconds. But we are into the 90th minute. Finally, in the last 5 minutes or so, Nagoya Grampus have started playing with the intensity of a team who need 2 goals. There's a little tribute to the injured players, Inoue, Rukian and Ryoga Sato, of course. Rukian, 2 centre-forwards missing. And Seiya Inoue as well. Suffered an arm injury. A young centre-back. Another one on the injury list for Avispa Fukuoka, but they are just minutes away from the League Cup final, even with those injury absences. 8 minutes of stoppage time. I called it just about right. Now off goes Masato Yuzawa. On comes Itsuki Oda. Wellington looking very much isolated up top now, but Fukuoka don't need any more from him. They just need their defenders and their goalkeeper to do the job. And so far, you have to say, when called upon, Takumi Nagaishi, the man in green, has really come up with the saves. Nagoya Grampus fans will be asking themselves, where was this intensity, where was this will to get shots in on goal and really test Takumi Nagaishi for the first 85 minutes of this second leg. Fukuoka came here, they prodded in the early goal. That's really given them the breathing space that they've needed. Seem to have taken a bit of belief away from Nagoya Grampus. Minutes played already of the 8 added. If they were only 1 goal behind, this would still be absolutely game on. But at 2 back, every minute that passes by, you just feel like they needed a goal there, and they need one now. There would still be 6 minutes to play. That's just about long enough. The goal can, of course, fall in the blink of an eye, but will it now for Nagoya Grampus? Not this time. Corner headed away. They'll get another chance from the right to get it back in. Might get another corner as well. They do indeed get another chance to deliver from the corner. Played in and headed up and away. These are much more dangerous deliveries now, though, from Nagoya Grampus. And the body language shows they know it might be too little too late. Haria Fuji whipping in. The header from inside the box could have gone goalwards. Fukuoka hanging on right now. But they've got that crucial 2-goal cushion. Certainly a good time to remind you that we're just about 5 minutes away from kickoff in the other J.LEAGUE YBC Levain CUP semi-final second leg. It's Yokohama Marinos against Urawa Reds. There's international coverage of that game too. Marinos leading by 1-0 after leg 1. Just like Avispa Fukuoka were coming into this second leg. It's all the way through and out for a goal kick. Hasebe, he knows now, as do they, that Fukuoka are close to reaching the final and making history for the club. They were beaten in the semi-finals of the Empress Cup last weekend. Are they about to go one better here? It certainly looks like it right now. It is to be Avispa Fukuoka in the final, as it certainly looks like it. Here they go on a break as well with a chance to really kill off the tie at 3-0. It's to Wellington in the box. That's a good save from Langerak, who's had nothing to do in this second half, and then suddenly springs up to his left to palm the ball away, but it's not where Nagoya Grampus need this ball to be. Wellington knows he could have killed it with a second, but still Fukuoka have the ball down the right end of the field. Wellington might be frustrated now at missing the chance, but in 3 minutes you'd expect he'll be celebrating his winning goal, unless something dramatic is to change here. Over in the other semi-final, it was Anderson Lopez with the penalty kick that took Yokohama into that 1-0 lead against Urawa. But now, the second leg at Saitama is set up very, very nicely indeed, as Urawa look to complete a turnaround, which seemingly Nagoya Grampus will not be able to do. It's into the box. Shooting chance from the D, perhaps. That one's off target again. Yuya Yamagishi. Experienced forward Yamagishi, but he's not really had much to sink his teeth into in this semi-final second leg. It was a real poacher's finish from Wellington to give Avispa Fukuoka this 1-goal advantage on the day here at the Toyota Stadium. They've really used the platform of the 1-0 first leg lead. When you come into a game like this away from home with a slender advantage, an early goal can be so crucial in affecting the outcome of the game. The longer this one would have gone on at 0-0, the more you'd think Nagoya Grampus would be knocking on the door, ready to just level the tie up, make it anybody's game. But when you score that second goal on aggregate, give yourself the space. They have done that. It's worked out for them. Langerak comes out. Offside flag was always going to come up there. Wellington was well past. But we're into the last of the 8 added minutes. Another change to be made. It is Reiju Tsuruno, the goal hero from the first leg. He comes on in place of Yamagishi. Yamagishi in no hurry to get off the field. Tsuruno gets his run out. It's been such an important part of this run to the final for Avispa Fukuoka. He'll not forget the header in the first leg. young centre forward gets a chance to enjoy the last minute or so of this second leg. It's not the final whistle from referee Imamura, but the final whistle will be coming very, very soon to confirm Avispa Fukuoka's place in the final. There's one more good save from Nagaishi. Just to add another one to the highlight reel. Nagaishi getting over to the left. Keeping out the header from Haruya Fuji. Corner ball. Morishima. It's headed away. Again, just grey shirts on the end of it. Morishima goes outside the box. Shooting chance from way out, perhaps. It's into the box and it's turned away, but Grampus still have it in the area. Turning and turning. And the shot tamed for Nagaishi, and there is the full-time whistle. Shigetoshi Hasebe remains calm, but the players can't do the same, because Avispa Fukuoka are into the final for the first time in the club's history. Shigetoshi Hasebe and his side have booked their ticket to the National Stadium in November, where they will get the chance to compete for the J.LEAGUE YBC Levain Cup trophy. Nagoya Grampus fall short on home turf. Their long unbeaten run at the Toyota Stadium is over, but Avispa Fukuoka always had enough in the locker today. The early goal from Wellington made the difference. It gave them the cushion, but they took advantage of it with a committed defensive display. They frustrated Nagoya Grampus. VAR frustrated them as well. Kenta Hasegawa's team will look back on two decisions. An offside goal in the first half. Kensuke Nagai thought that he'd reduced the deficit, but that was chalked off for offside. And then early in the second half, Kaspar Juncker went down under a challenge from Douglas Grawley. But after a lengthy VAR check, that one was ruled out too. No penalty for Nagoya Grampus. And in the end, they didn't offer enough to get back into the tie. Once Fukuoka were 2 up on aggregate, the early goal made all the difference. Wellington the hero this time, Tsuruno the hero from the first leg. Thank you so much for joining us for this one. Congratulations to Avispa Fukuoka, who go on to the J.LEAGUE YBC Levain Cup final. An historic moment for their club. Their first appearance in a national final. They've booked their ticket to the National Stadium early in November. They'll be in the showpiece finale. Commiserations to Nagoya Grampus, who were beaten 1-0 in both legs. They kept things tight, they kept it close, but they just couldn't do enough today. And now attention's turned to the second leg as Urawa Red Diamonds take on Yokohama F Marinos in the other of the semi-final second legs in this League Cup competition. We know one of the finalists, it'll be Avispa Fukuoka, but will they be playing against Urawa Reds or Yokohama Marinos? We'll find out in the next few hours. Thank you so much for joining us for this one. It's finished on the day. Nagoya Grampus 0, Avispa Fukuoka 1. On aggregate, Avispa Fukuoka head to the final with a 2-0 win.
中継をご覧の皆様、アビスパ福岡のキャプテン奈良選手です。勝利おめでとうございます。
ありがとうございます。
ついにクラブ史上初の決勝進出を決めました。今の気持ちから聞かせてください。
天皇杯で準決勝で悔しい敗戦をして、そこから、連戦という形で本当に苦しい時間からしっかり全員で反骨心を持ってリバウンドメンタリティーを持って強い気持ちを持って全員で戦った結果、こうやって決勝進出、そしてこうやって素晴らしい歴史のある名古屋グランパス相手に素晴らしいホームで今年ほとんど負けてないと聞いておりましたし、その相手にこのスタジアムで勝てたっていうのは、とても嬉しいですし、ただこの勝利はここに来てない第一戦のメンバーもホームで勝利をものにしたからこそ決勝進出があると思ってるんで、本当にチーム全員の勝利だと思ってとても嬉しく思います。
奈良選手個人としては天皇杯で古巣川崎相手に敗れたその思いを持って今日の試合に臨んだと思います。どんな思いで臨んだんでしょうか。
そうですね、フロンターレ戦では僕の、足に当たって決勝点が入ってしまった、すごい責任を感じましたし、チームの僕の力不足を感じてとても苦しくて悔しかったですけど、ただこうやってまだもう一つ自分たちが歴史を変えれる試合が残っているというところで、もう一回奮い立たせて、本当チームメートのみんなに助けられながら、サポーターの皆さんにも助けられながら勝ち取れた決勝進出、とても嬉しいです。
ルヴァンカップでは数多くの負傷者を出した、そういった中でも激しく戦い抜いてきました。今負傷した選手たちにもこれで一つまた報告ができますね。
そうですね、その選手たちが本当にこのピッチに立ちたかったと思いますし、悔しい思いを持って今リハビリをしてますし、そういう選手たちの力になれるように、僕たちらしく華麗ではないかもしれないですけど泥臭く戦って、あと1試合、全員の力で戦い抜きたいなと思います。
次はこの名古屋の思いも背負って国立での試合となります。次への意気込みお願いします。
僕たち本当に心強いサポーターの皆さんとチームメートとスタッフといろんな方の力を集結させて、国立に乗り込みたいと思いますし、僕自身も、全力でチームのために泥臭く戦いたいと思います。
アビスパ福岡のキャプテン奈良選手でした。おめでとうございます。
ありがとうございました。
集中力を決して切らすことのないこの90分間の戦い制しました。今の気持ちを聞かせてください。
嬉しいです。
前半5分セットプレーからの混戦の中でウェリントン選手が第一戦に続いてのゴールを決めてくれました。あそこからの勢い出ましたよね。
そうですね、彼の長所、またその長所を出すために、偶然ではなくて、ああいうゴールこれまでもありますし、よくやってくれたなと思います。
そして第1戦第2戦通してクリーンシートでの勝利となりました。この点いかがでしょうか。
結果は良かったんですけれども、内容のところでいうとギリギリのところで、今日も終盤危ない場面が3回も4回もありましたので、そういった意味では内容のところをもっと上げていかないといけないなと思ってます。
怪我人を多く出しながらですが、闘志を燃やして戦い抜いたこのルヴァンカップ、次はいよいよ国立の舞台です。クラブ史上初の歴史を作るための意気込み聞かせてください。
優勝したいと思います。
頑張ってください。ありがとうございました。
ありがとうございました。